420 MSP. Harry here, morning coffee, back with Chuck Maines. Chuck, where are you today? You split your time between Louisiana and Texas. Where are you today?
I do. Yes. Good morning, Harry. I'm back in Austin today. I got back here last week. We had the hurricane over there, so I had to go over and make sure everything was okay. And fortunately, we in our part of Louisiana, we managed to escape the worst of it. So we're good.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk a little bit about that. It's a little bit lighter conversation than maybe we've had with government affairs in the past. But so you have some property over in Louisiana. You have some property in Texas. You go between the two. MJ Biz recently had an article about adapting to climate change, and I'm again, that's not necessarily what you and I do when we wake up in the morning and think about the cannabis industry or hemp. But they went on to say that in Louisiana in particular, companies are putting operations on higher ground to avoid the increase in storms and flooding. Mm-hmm. So first of all, what can you grow in Louisiana? And where do we find higher ground?
Well, so, that's kind of one of the misconceptions about Louisiana is that it's all bayous. It's not. The southern part of the state is what your typical Louisiana looks like. You've got your bayous, you've got your brackish water, typical like, New Orleans looking Lafayette. Right. But when you north of Lafayette, which is your Louisiana food. If you get north of, I'd say maybe 80 miles north of in that boot, you start getting into the kind of hilly terrain more than along the coast for sure. Like where we're at, I mean, it's like I compare it as it is like the hill country of Texas, except for these rivers and lakes all throughout it, and it's beautiful up there. You have an area in the middle of the state where the Red River flows, and it's a huge valley, similar kind of like how the Brazos River Valley is in Texas. I mean, it's this huge fertile land, and the same thing with where the Mississippi is on the eastern side of the state. But that area is like, I mean, you can grow anything that you can think of that would grow in a plain area. You can grow in that zone, and then when you get further south is when you get into the more of the soil conditions where sugarcane, although sugarcane's grown up north as well, but like sugarcane would be the main crop in the southern part of the state because it can take the water. A lot of rice, but when you start getting into our area of the state, you're getting into cotton, you're getting into corn, wheat, and stuff like that. So that would be the higher.
Yeah, where does hemp in Louisiana grow best then? A little bit north or south?
So Harry, this is a whole trial phase for the hemp crop nationwide because all these states are now just starting to implement. Like you look here in Texas, we have over 100 different varieties of hemp that have been approved. This is the first season that we're growing these things. So like a variety that's going to be grown in the Panhandle is not going to be the same. It's not going to grow the same. Well, we don't even know. This is a whole new experiment here. So we're going to see, does this one that grows in Colorado on the eastern slope or wherever, is it going to grow the same in the Panhandle? Is it going to grow the same in the Red River Valley in Louisiana? This is all trial and error, but I do know that there are there's Louisiana had passed their law. I believe they did theirs close to the beginning of the year. So they're a little bit ahead of the game compared to Texas. But what I've been reading is that they have crops over north of Alexandria area. You go up into the Shreveport, like out in east of Bossier area. That's where they're doing it, and that right now is primarily like cotton and corn zone. So that's definitely higher. That's I mean, if I was going to do a trial crop, I'd rather do it on high ground rather than
yeah, higher and drier.
had 2 hurricanes do the exact same path in a 6-week span just this summer. So if I'm going to invest money into a hemp crop, I want it to be on higher ground. So
yeah, absolutely. So, hey, let's end on during our rehearsal. You made mention of you have an activity going on in Dripping Springs, Texas, or something. What's going on?
Super excited. We're going to do the first harvesting of a hemp crop that was planted. I believe it was in May, right after the Department of Agriculture started issuing permits, and we're going out there on Saturday to do the first harvest. We're going to do the cuttings. We're going to do the hangings and drawings, and it's going to be excited. So I'll let you guys in and tell you about it when our next talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a couple photos. That'd be really cool. All right, Chuck. Well, the Texas Hemp Lobbyist, thank you as always for your time each month. You're a busy man. Thank you for being one of our analysts.
Sure thing, Harry. Good to see you.
All righty. Bye-bye.